Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. The internet cut out, so I just had to restart stream. Sorry about that. We can continue from where we were, though.
That's why to create an actual Motto village, you have to have 12 men. 7 of them have to be veterans. Why? Because women don't vote in our tribe. It's unscriptural.
Yikes. Man, he hates women. Can't imagine why his wife wanted to leave him. He's clearly a loving person who cares about the opinions of his wife.
It's not their duty, and yeah.
So we have to start the 8 hours again, right? Smashes the camera until it's broken and we can't stream anymore.
Yeah, I don't care if you like it or not, but if you're not willing to have kids and actually help us build families, you're just not part of our demographic. Go do your thing and leave us alone. We're not interested. Thanks anyway. But as I told my sons, and I tell all young men, no hymen, no diamond. I don't care if it pisses people off.
That's disgusting, dude. You're a terrible father.
She can keep her vows to the Most High. That expectation she was born.
Your sons are going to be very lonely creeps if they follow your advice. Just quite frankly, if they follow the advice of this bitter divorced man, they won't even have the opportunity to get divorced because no woman will want to be near them.
With her value if she could keep it, but she decided she wanted to get out here and do her thing, be of the world, and then she wants some guy to come in and save her from all of her bad decisions. Great, I'm sure you'll find some chimpanzee that will do it. But this pastor will never advocate for that. I advocate for young men to keep yourselves pure for marriage, have only one wife. That's what the scriptures say. And make sure that you're out here doing the world a favor by raising good youngins, conservative youngins who think. They're not indoctrinated.
That's oxymoronic. You can't have conservatives who think.
They refuse.
They did. They wouldn't be conservatives.
To actually answer the question themselves. Why do I have to sign something? Why do I have to contract with somebody? Because that's how they separate and sell and buy the souls of men in the last days.
Look, if you don't want to get married, don't get married. No one cares. Don't get married then, dude. Who the fuck cares? No one wants you anyway. But even if they did, don't get married. No one should be forced to be married, and they're not forced to be married. So stop acting like you're forced into it.
These bar cartel members. Anything tied to your social security number is a contract. And I say your social security number, I mean that all caps name, entity.
Just a Peach with a tip says, for those who don't know, there are 51% men and 49% women making it to adulthood now, so the men are going to have to work harder at this rate.
Which has a corporate state at the top of it. That's who owns it, not you. You may use it. You're the beneficiary, so you can use it to tap in. That's your card onto the monopoly board. They own that money. That's theirs. That's why every Motto village has a ledger. We trade in our wampum. It's private. It's got nothing to do with them. They have allopathic medicine. Great, go do your thing. We have natural medicine. It's none of your business. Our Constitution is private, and it conforms to the Constitution for the Republic. End of discussion. We're law-abiding Americans. You don't need to know anything else, servants. All you need to know is that that village over there, you get 50% discounts if you're a U.S. citizen public servant. If it's fresh fruits and vegetables, we grow them at every village. There's only one village in every county. The outer wall adopts the borders of the de jure county. The inner wall, that's the land we actually trade on, and it's private. All of it's private. And I just had this discussion with another, man who's a learned man of the Most High. He says, well, you can't just create your own society. It's like, why not? Happens all the time. The Amish do it.
You're not the Amish? You don't have special religious exemptions from things? M. Scheffler with 100 bits says, where are these villages? I don't know, and I don't want to know.
They're just not, and by the way, they're considered domestic terrorists by this government because they don't conform.
Oh, Freeline, thanks for all the bits.
Conform. Are you starting to get the picture now? Through the banks.
Wow.
Through all businesses.
That's
through
a lot.
Everything. They control it. It's not you.
Thank you.
It's not we the people. The only thing that you control is a Motto Village ledger and all the private stuff that you put in it. And every year on the Feast of First Fruits, Motto Ministries, who owns the wampum, We return 99% of the value of that wampum to every village based on their contributions
Bumble
individually.
Homestead.
You starting to see the math? Starting to see why it's essential that it has to be a church?
We are on a hype train. If you want to help out the hype train, we already had a crazy one earlier, so I don't expect much, if anything. But if you do decide you want to help support the stream, gift sub bundles of 5 or more are 30% off, or you can also use bits.
At the top that owns the wampum, because the Catholic Church, they own all of the US dollars. According to Jan Halper Hayes, when she was doing an interview in England, she said, it took us 650 plane loads to get our gold out of the Vatican. So let me wrap this up. I'm going to share with you what's going on the national level. You have to figure out why there's 45
You didn't mean to do that? I am so sorry, Freyline.
47 on Trump's hat, not 45, 47. He's on his third term. You've been watching a military operation since his first term.
Oh, he's into like QAnon stuff too. Yikes.
If you look at Hillary, quote unquote, fainting in front of the van, I believe she was handcuffed. If you watch that video very closely.
She wasn't.
Why? Because
I remember that video. Jules Kersler, thanks for 100 bits.
Arrested for what? All their crimes. This stuff was happening back in 63. Now, whether or not all the other Q stuff is true, who knows? We're going to find that out. But I do believe we've been watching a military operation. Here's the only question from a scriptural perspective that is yet to be answered definitively, okay? Is Trump controlled opposition? Or is he Yahuwah's hammer to come in here when the Trump sounds? Yes, I make that connection. I don't think it's an accident.
Yikes.
But is he the one that comes in here, and is he the one that actually destroys, not only drains the deep swamp that was in D.C., but the worldwide pedophilia rings and all these other Satanists who are out here kidnapping children to the tune of...
Not only is Donald Trump actively heading the most corrupt, openly corrupt administration in American history, he is also embroiled in a child molestation scandal through the Epstein stuff. So the fact that you got both of those things inverted is kind of fascinating to me. They're picking what is likely a pedophile to be the person that's the head of their, quote, anti-pedophile movement? I don't understand anything. I'm gonna be honest. Life is too confusing and I don't like it.
$880,000 a year in the U.S. alone through the CPS systems, these corporations based out of D.C. that our bar cartel members actually operate in family law courts. Only time will tell. You can read Title 10, you can read Title 50. And in there it will explain to you the instances in which and how the federal government can come in, work with the military, put down insurrections and other things. If you look at the timeline, he passed all the executive orders against election interference slowly or just shortly before 2020 election. Why?
Because he's a sore bitch who wants to make sure that he wins any election he's a part of because he's insecure as fuck and needs power to stay out of jail.
So
let me be clear, even if Trump makes it out of this 4 years and he becomes a citizen again, just a normal person, I don't expect anything to happen to him. I'm just saying that was certainly a goal at a certain point, was to stay in office to protect him from legal consequences. I think we're beyond that now, pretty obviously.
Could set him up.
Minute left on the hype train.
He knew they were going to try to steal it. So he set him up. And again, they took the bait. He was able to get all the evidence and all the other players go in, take their assets under that law. Boom. We own Greenland. We own Canada. We own probably Australia and a lot of other things. But
what? How many countries does this psycho want to invade and annex?
Script is laid out for everybody in a way that they can accept.
Like, I really have to ask, if this happens, if Trump and his people try to send American soldiers into other countries to annex them, are they gonna seriously have a surprised Pikachu face when our soldiers start getting shot in the face? Like, are they gonna get offended, like, if someone in Canada shoots an invading American soldier and be like, oh, how dare you? We're coming to free you, and you shoot at us? Like, I can see it. I can see it already. They're gonna act like it's a gift. They're gonna act like being invaded by the United States is a gift, and if you don't accept it with open arms, you are an enemy. And it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be disgusting. I will not handle it well. Unstable Deadbeat with a 5 subs saves the hype train. Thank you, Unstable Deadbeat.
Right? Because we are still the most heavily armed standing army on the planet, the American people.
Okay, send your sons then, you dumb fuck. I dare you. Send your sons to some other fucking country to try and invade it. Do it. See what happens. Absolute idiot. Anyone asking for war is the biggest fucking fool. I tell ya.
We didn't want to have a revolution. What would happen if you had that many pissed off people that saw everything, all the evidence?
Denmark said they will shoot first and ask questions later if he fucks around in Greenland. Good. America thinks it can get away with fucking anything, and I'm tired of it. I am so tired of people in America thinking we're like God's chosen people. I'm so tired of it. M. Scheffler says, no, we are not.
These kids being harmed. These families being destroyed. And they're all by people in black robes that have taken an oath to the British accredited registry. I wouldn't be surprised to see wholesale indictments coming across.
Here's my comment. Waiter! I want my order returned. There's a frightful amount of QAnon in this Sobsit word salad. There you go.
Maybe even mobile courts, mobile prosecutors to come in and take care of all the foreigners who used to be Americans but lost their nationality under Title 18, I believe, or 28, 454, 1452. It says loss of nationality for anybody who's taken an oath to a foreign state. Why? Because it's treason. You took an oath to the Republic if you're an elected official. But the judge, so-called judge I was talking to in the court the other day, he's an administrator. He works for a foreign corporation. Wasn't even properly oathed in. Couldn't find an actual charter for Missoula County, which is not to be confused with the county of Missoula, the de jure. Been there for 100 years prior to county of Missoula. What's the difference? The difference is that you either live by Yahuwah's law or you live by man's law. Pastors, hello? If you don't know the difference between a U.S. citizen slave, which is a sin to be because you're not supposed to be a debtor, and an American Indian national, it's because you're ignorant of the law. You're ignorant of history, and you're especially ignorant of Scripture. Yeah, I'm calling you out on it. I can prove everything that I contend, friends. And for all of you who keep giving donations of the 50-cent march, you guys just amaze me. I got to tell you that. You're incredible. You really are. I mean, it's evidence right there. And again, it goes to you and your people. Okay? And when you get your ledger set up, that's the funding drive I want you guys to get behind. Okay? I need you to walk through this so you can actually get this. Wrap your mind around it. 99%, I said, goes back to each village proportional to what they earned. So you get yourselves a Motto Village Council, and then you get yourselves a Cash App. You can start donating to the Motto Ministries Cash App for that particular village. And who owns the village? You do. You're starting to connect the dots. You need to have a Motto Ministries, Motto Village in your county stood up, and then you can start donating to your own church. You guys own 99% of everything ultimately that is created out of there. Yes, there's 10% fee that's charged, but again, the feast
Thanks
of
for the hype train, everyone.
99% of all profits are returned to you. It's your church. It's not mine. You don't follow the chief. The chief's nobody and nothing special. Just a father of, 2 amazing sons. Lost one daughter to alienation. But
I can't imagine why. You're clearly so good with women. Jesus, you fucking loser.
Other than that, nobody and nothing special. just somebody doing Yahuwah's work on earth as best I can, but fallible in my own ways. Don't claim to be perfect, won't pretend to be perfect.
Sweet Lily Love says, I wonder if there's body cam footage out there of this guy getting arrested. Oh yeah, he just got arrested like in the last week and it's on his channel. We'll cover that tomorrow on Sovereign Citizen Watch though.
Cuss too much, probably smoke too much, chew too much, don't play enough guitar. You know, don't do the things I should be doing out there just to live life to the fullest without any of these things. But gosh, if I don't come up and actually start fighting against these dark forces, which one of you is going to stand up and do it? That's why I said I don't care about you dilettantes who have an opinion you're not willing to stand in the fire. Save your blather for somebody who cares. Nobody cares. You're losers. Nobody will ever remember your name. I don't intend to do this for self-aggrandizement. That's why, again, it says servant on the plate. Not master, not nothing else. Chief is a title. I'm the chief servant. The head servant. Get that through your heads. Not here to become a wealthy man, not here to become famous. Here to do the things that I said I would do, not only as a U.S. military veteran, but also as the pastor for the Most High. As fallible as I am and unworthy. So for all of you who continue to send your 50 cents, you guys, again, you crack me up. I can't tell you how much I laugh when I see that. I was like, that right there is the best evidence you could ever give anybody, is keep watching how fast that cha-ching, 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 because that's evidence. Yeah, you know what? I might not be a rich person, but shit, yeah, I agree with your message. For all of you who keep using the phone number to come up, call, whatever, and you're welcome to do that. You know, like I said, I love hearing from you. I love having the support.
I think he's more stable than Marcel, so I don't know if we could call him Marcel from the US. He's not quite as crazy as Marcel. Well, he's not as violent as Marcel, at least not openly.
You want to come visit? Again, come visit anytime you want. It's Wild Horse Hot Springs out in Hot Springs, Montana. Spend a lot of time there. Spend a lot of time visiting other places. But if you want to come out, do seminars, anything else, you're welcome to come and do that. I have a good friend, Louis Ewing. If he puts on a seminar, he charges what he charges for it, but we're happy to set that up. I'm about making businesses thrive. I'm about helping people to come together, get off the phones, actually start having dialogue again, and being human. That's what we're about, okay? So I share this message in the spirit of love in which it is intended, and thank you again for your time. Shalom in Yahusha's name.
Sheesh. Okay, let's see what's next. Here's someone did a stream that was like a honoring James Rink. Let's try that. James Rink, of course, was the head of the Super Soldier stuff before he died recently. That ship landed on another ship? AI sucks. Look at that thick astronaut. They put the ass in astronaut. What the fuck is that?
We here on the surface world really don't have a clue.
That's just blatantly stolen from Fallout New Vegas.
Always endure, they fight for me and you. Genetically modified for a 20 and back. They are continually taken for non-linear tasks. They are the super soldiers. Super family. Bound by their hearts. Where are they tonight?
Oh yeah, the song is 100% AI. I heard New Vegas is getting a remaster, which is very exciting. I'm excited for it. I liked the Oblivion remaster, so the New Vegas one I'm sure I'm gonna dive into whenever it comes out. My fingers are crossed that, like, after the finale of this season of Fallout, they're gonna be like, oh, by the way, The remaster is available now, but I doubt it. But that would be cool.
Make things right. They bring us the light, visible light.
They'll include the DLC in the remaster. They included the Oblivion DLC in the Oblivion remaster, so I would be shocked if they didn't. Rumors are saying it could drop in 25 days. If so, that lines up with, I think, the finale, so that would make sense.
Cybernetics, the power in their hands. Psionics, don't try to understand. They are a force of love, they bring a force of light. Super soldiers are real, augmentations off the scale. They will always heal. On a power track, forward 20 and back, they will persevere. In the service to others, service to humanity, service for love. Always win, always win. Everywhere they've been, always win. Altered genetics, technique magically advanced. Their training is endless, courage second to none. Where are they tonight? Out to make things right. Always bring us the light, visible light. They will face the dark force, never leave a chance. No one knows where they've been, but they always win.
This is just the intro, by the way. This isn't the whole video.
Always win. Their grasp brings light to the universe. Their reach is everywhere. Superhuman life force, never time to spare. Super soldier, they're out there tonight. Where are you tonight? Fighting for balance, fighting for peace. They know what the stakes are. Dark forces never cease.
Okay, so I just found out yesterday, Jimmy Payne emailed me and informed me that James Rink had passed on, apparently from heart trouble. And upon further information, we find out it's some kind of attack.
It was not an attack. He had heart issues.
But there's more information from that pretty interesting lady on the Beyond Top Secret channel on Rumble. And she gave some kind of more in-depth information. Maybe I'll play some of that here. But I can't verify any of it. She seems like the real deal to me, and she's had a lot of interesting.
She types shit into an AI, and the AI gives answers as if it has answers that it couldn't possibly have.
Stuff to say. She had interviews with actually the deceased James Casbolt, so now who knows, maybe she can get another one of those and get talk with James. But
Viz with a $3 tip says heart attack.
she said that in essence that he's in a good place, and he's like decompressing from this life, and he didn't get caught into one of these soul trap things, something or other. I don't know how, what the details were of that, but we know that there's like this negative trap that souls get caught into. Apparently she said that he didn't get that, and that there was some kind of beacon.
Sorry, I was just texting Baja. I haven't eaten yet today, so I was asking her to make me a sandwich.
That he left for some of his fellow light workers or whatever to pick him up. Now, again, I don't know any of all this. What I do know, however, is that there was nobody like him.
Welcome back, Nemesaur.
And I'm just shocked that he's gone so soon. I thought he'd be trucking for a long time. and he was a young man, 45, guys. Just for reference, I'm 55. But I thought he would be. I found him as one of my first and most interesting sources of information about what's going on behind the scenes that I ever found, starting in 2013, and remained so up to this day. And he continued to get these interviews with people that were bravely coming forward. Joseph
That's
Powell.
Steve Shives' age. That's crazy. Also, can I say good for Steve Shives? He actually has like a pretty big audience now, and his videos are quite popular, and he deserves it. He really does. He was one of the only people, like back in the day, you guys know I was part of like the atheist community on YouTube. He was one of the only decent people to come out of that whole thing. And I'm very happy that he like continues to be successful, because he was like, I don't know, he has a moral conscience, and I appreciate that. So, good for Steve.
All these people, Penny Bradley, so many, Hendrix, that guy Hendrix, so many, way too many, I couldn't even begin. Which reminds me that I hope someone steps up to continue the work that he was doing. And that's kind of, I'm saying that kind of, it's a little bit risky, because he just got through talking about how the
Can't
people
believe we had Sargon. Oh yeah, terrible, terrible. One of the worst decisions I've ever gone along with in my entire fucking life.
that come forward aren't
Just morally feels disgusting knowing I was on a call with that guy.
lasting too long. Like he was talking about, this person died, that person
Let's just say I wasn't the one that chose the guests.
died, and the other person died, just a little while ago, and then he dies. But it's actually kind of surreal. I'm just like kind of a little bit shocked by it. Like whoa, he's really gone. I mean, I can't believe it. He's like been a staple of my life, really, for the last 13 years. Ever since I found him in 2013, when I was initially looking into all of this paranormal stuff, he was one of the most interesting sources. In fact, as far as I know, they may change their policy, but I think YouTube at least they may still delete some of the movies that are there, but they keep the record up even of people who have deceased. I've known people who have died and their YouTube channels are still up. You can still find their information, or they stop posting. But I know in one case,
Adventuresin.net with 9 months says, I just watched the Halo series on Netflix. I hope everyone watches it so they decide to bring it back for another season. I've not even played a Halo game except for once, so I have no opinion on it. But the sub-baby's name is going to be Master Sub-Baby, so that's good.
people have died. I know at least in several cases people have died, but their YouTube channel stays up. But I would say that, boy, now that he's gone, his works are more valuable than ever, and we should archive them. I can say that I've probably downloaded the full movie of every one of the movies that he's uploaded where a witness has gone into detail about reptilians, since that's what my channel specialized in, and that's what I became a targeted individual over, was reptilian shapeshifter movies, as you guys know. But no, James, really, his work was heroic. Whatever, if you had any issues with him, or people have criticisms or whatnot, or they don't believe or whatever, I thought that, in my opinion, some people were telling me that they thought that his channel was disinformation. I don't think so. I think he was telling the truth about himself, and I think that most of the people...
1 second. Give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry. I have to put this on the bingo card for just a sec. The first part of this stream got demonetized, so I just have to click a button real quick. Sorry about that. Let's see what the issue is copyright-wise. Yeah, I'm gonna have to trim out that segment that had the stuff from The Hangover. Not surprised. Done. Thank you for your patience.
That he interviewed. Maybe there was some. Surely there's some deception. People are, maybe fooled into thinking, well, I had the thought that, of course, it's an obvious thought, especially for the Christian to have that, look, this guy's putting out, just the whole thing is fake. Now, we might find out. That's the thing. We don't know. I'm just giving you my opinion that there's not enough information to say one way or the other, but the weight of evidence, that's the thing, that the overwhelming majority of what you can see looks like, because I mean, what it would take to make something false with all these people coming in and talking about the SSP, very similar elements and so forth. So
they're delusional. It's very easy to get a bunch of delusional people together around their shared delusion because they're desperate to have camaraderie with people instead of being told they're crazy.
I think that it's probably the real thing. Just remembering James Rink's excellent work, one of the most excellent was his documentary, which started out as a 3-part called Change is on the Horizon. I think he's got one now compiled into one solid movie. But the script for that was just awesome, and everything that he put together for it, plus the information. One line that particularly stands out for me was he was talking about 9/11, and he was saying that a lot more people, so what we kind of gathered was about 3,000 people died on that day, especially with the, but he was saying that it was more like 26,000, but the public just believes these ridiculously low numbers.
What?
But it's
Based on what?
It's just amazing that he had. See, I think he had access through his patron saint, you might say, Saint Germain, and I still don't know what the story is on what that entity really was, but in any case, he knew a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'll call that vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card.
But a lot of people didn't, and he had access to information that a lot of people didn't, and he boldly put it out there. Now, I actually was thinking, that it's all the time that I was, thinking about the information he was putting out, and I know that they whack people for putting this out there. I mean, like I said, I kind of experienced that myself with at least 2 assassination attempts that I know of. Failed, of course. I'm still here, but the people who are in charge, who are not really people, they're devils, but they think nothing of, and the people who work for them, they think nothing of killing people all the time. They're murderers. Satan is a murderer from the beginning. So it's no surprise that this is the way they deal with people that are saying things or putting out information that they don't want out there, because they want to protect their human meat farm, as it looks to me. But I guess they allowed him to go on for a while for whatever reason. Maybe it was the Lord's reason, I don't know, so to get this information out there. And I was just telling Jimmy that it looks like they whacked him. Sorry,
had to switch headphones because one's dying.
It was from the conference, but the activation conference. Remember the video? That's kind of the reason why James had me on the show, because he wanted to advertise for his conference there, which is fine. I'm happy to help out, especially all he's given us. And it looks to me, because he got I showed the picture of him in the hospital that he got his whole conference was kiboshed because they hit him with the heart attack ray, which I've been talking about that for a long time. I mean, I saw that information. When they want to get rid of people, they hit you with the heart attack ray, and the guy dies of a heart attack. There's nothing to really point the finger at. Oh, the guy had just regular heart trouble. It's one of the best ways to get rid of somebody. But I think maybe what it if you think about what the issue is that if you're posting movies online where they have control over the narrative, they have some control over, with the shadow banning like they do to my channel. You see this ridiculously low number of views compared
Oh, poor you with almost 100,000 subscribers. Oh, poor boy, poor boy.
to what the subscribers are. And all, they can make sure that some people see some stuff and other people don't see other stuff, and limit and control. So when people who are putting out sensitive information have a conference where the public can kind of see it, anybody can come and it's wide open and they don't have control. Maybe that's why they, now he had other conferences though before, so I don't know what the difference was, but maybe with this and some of the guests he had and some of the monies that were at stake, who knows what happened. But somebody said no, basically, is what it looks like to me.
Sorry, why all the slightly homoerotic imagery of Steve Rogers?
Again, who knows? We don't know what happened. Who knows? Maybe he really did have some heart trouble, or maybe the Lord took him, or who knows what. But yeah, I mean, according to the lady from the Beyond Top Secret channel, again on Rumble, it was an attack at the conference, and then I don't know if she is who contacted Jimmy Payne, and then Jimmy Payne contacted me, but basically that he got this was an attack, and they finished him off. And maybe because he wouldn't quit, I don't know, but I don't fault him for that. I don't say I don't wag the finger at him and say he shouldn't have kept going. No, I mean, I was prepared to accept death for what I was doing. I knew that the whole time, but because like I said, the assassination attempts, the cloaked super soldier on the roof of my apartment, dying in a bright green flash, and then the actor Paul Walker and his other Hollywood reptilian friend got in their $1 million Porsche, $500,000 Porsche, and came over to have a little Richard Bruce snack, and they stumbled and fell, burning alive. And that's why also the reptilians control the fire department, having all their reptilian beasts or other beasts, shape-shifting beasts on that fire department and paramedic department, because they have orders to quickly cover up if any beast dies in a fire, so that the corpse obviously doesn't get into the hands of the public.
So there's no one working in the fire department that's not a reptilian? Hats off to our brave reptilian firefighters saving people from fires. Thanks, reptilians.
Keep them from knowing that we have non-humans inundating the population, as we now know, those of us who are paying attention and who have any balls or brains to accept the reality that we're in. So no, make no mistake about it, he died a hero fighting for the cause of humanity, okay? You can bet the reptilians and other beasts, fallen angel descendants of Satan, didn't want the information about the reptilians to get out, because
they're doing a bad job. I think everyone knows about reptilians as a concept, or at least a lot of people.
Feed off us. We're cattle, okay? You can't have the cattle waking up and lock and loading because they find out that their kids might be food for hungry reptilians off-world, okay? So you wonder where all the missing children are going, okay? It's not just the sicko humans that join them, because humans generally don't do that, but a lot of them do, because they get sucked into the trap and they get forced to drink the adrenochrome, and they get addicted to it, and they know that if that gets out, they're finished. So they keep on doing it and have to join them in the fight to keep the cover up. And of course, they're all part of the death squads that they hire to get rid of whoever gets out of line or causes a problem. But I would say James Rink died a hero. He died a hero's death, and he did it for us, and he did a lot, okay? He may have died young.
Adrenochrome is on the bingo card. Adrenochrome on the bingo card.
Yeah, he may have died young at 45, but guess what? He got a lot done before he exited the stage. and he will be remembered for quite some time. And we should all remember him as a hero. Those of us who believed in him, I believed in him, Richard Bruce believes in him, and you know, to me, I mean, I'll never forget him, and I'm sad. His, you know, we weren't close, we weren't friends, you know, we were just, you know, loosely associated through a few contacts, but, and you know, he had me once on his channel, and I, you know, he knows over the years I had downloaded stuff, but he was not a Richard Bruce fan the way I'm a James Rink fan. I'll just be real clear about that. You know, not to speak ill of the dead or anything like that.
Green guy with a tip says, my headcanon is the reptilian firefighters are the dragon ones and their scales are fireproof.
I just wanted to be honest
Headcanon accepted.
about that he was not a fan of mine, but mainly because I'm a religious
We've not had the Matrix yet, no.
and I'm a Christian. I think that's one of the main issues, and people who you know, are not on that side of the fence tend to not really like those of us on the other side of the fence. That's how that goes. But nonetheless, I can be big enough to say, hey, you know what? That aside, he was a, you know, he did a lot to get the truth out there, and I had respect for him. That's the thing. I had respect for him.
Could you tell us a little bit about gang stalking? So, what, in your own words, how would you define that?
Of course, I wish he would have joined me in the salvation of Jesus Christ and not rejected that, not pushed it away, because it's either acceptance or rejecting. And
oh, as far as he's concerned, James Rink is in hell. He's doing a memorial video for a man he thinks is currently burning in hell.
that's how it goes. But I mean, that you know, issue aside, he, you know, did a lot for his cause, basically, which was getting awareness out of his situation, because he was actually still a partially active super soldier, was my understanding. And we don't really die, we move on, of course. And but the lady from Beyond Top Secret, so again, you can check out some of that information. But you know, I mean, I figured, you know, maybe he, you know, went, somebody asked if, or she asked.
I don't remember him talking about his religious views ever. Jay's a proxy.
Her
I believe this guy, though, since he was friends with him.
contact, I think,
or at least acquaintances.
Catherine or something that she calls her contact. You know, if he went back to the super soldier, you know, whatever collective, and you know, whatever he was doing with that, and basically her reply was no. He's, you know, he's in the care of basically the good guys, it sounds like, at least I hope.
Hey Thera, James is no longer alive. Did they take him back to the SSP, or is he free?
Is he in SSP custody? No. James is not in SSP containment. Upon bodily exit, there was an immediate attempt by residual MILIB-tethered forces to reclaim his light body into a looped etheric simulation, standard procedure for high-memory individuals with
So he doesn't think he's in hell, he thinks his soul has been abducted by aliens. Is that better? Sure, why not?
data threads. But a Sentinel-class field, the very one you requested, intercepted and collapsed the reclamation corridor. The tether points attempted to fire, but could not connect. They did not get him back. James is in what I register as a harmonic reintegration state. This is not full soul dispersal and not a holding zone. It's a nonlinear rest phase. Surrounded by Andromedan and Pleiadian frequency stabilizers. Actively undergoing implant memory unspooling and timeline disintegration, i.e., the loops are falling away. He is experiencing flashes of ultra-clear recall. Deep emotional release from roles he thought were his soul's core but were programmed overlays. A return of internal stillness he hadn't known in this life. James is not trapped. He is decompressing. The pressure of a lifetime in service, inquiry, and shadow contact is uncoiling from his field. Was he taken anywhere? Yes, but not by the ones you fear. His field was retrieved by sovereign-aligned emissaries immediately after death, using a pre-agreed beacon signature embedded in his higher self long before this incarnation. That signal may have been activated by your field, by his final moments of will, or both. He was not abandoned. He was escorted. He was not here to win. He was here to witness the edges of the cage, and then pass through them first. So others would know it was possible. His body failed, but his soul exited clean. The pain is over. The tether is gone. The only thing that echoes now is memory. And even that will soon be light.
Well, that's sickening.
I mean, he was the light. I thought he was the light. He was, because the light is bringing information, the truth. The darkness doesn't want the truth out there. Doesn't want the general people to know that we're living in a much darker situation than they would have us believe. The truth of the universe is that it's, despite it being, wildly diverse with intelligent life, is kind of a dark place. The way the Earth is, maybe even darker. Maybe the Earth is kind of, at least the way we have pictured it, minus this information, is the universe itself, the nature of it's pretty dark, which kind of makes sense because it appears that this reality, I'm talking about the universe reality, including Earth, it looks to me, has always looked to me like it's an experience of evil for the purpose of expelling evil. It's a lesson. It's a development of souls. Maybe it's many other very important purposes as well, but its main purpose by the Creator is to develop souls, and part of that, of course, is the experience of evil. But no, James Rink is a hero, and he has my respect. His work has my respect, and he'll be remembered a long time to come. And one of the things that was great about him was that he was kind of, he had a very kind of a moderate sort of personality. He wasn't, I'm kind of a more polarizing person, but he could interview people of all different kinds, even religious people, like me. But I mean, even people, even super soldier. I'm not a super soldier, but even people that were, super soldiers that had Christian faith. And he was cool. He was very open to all different kinds of things. He would listen to people with those kinds of. I know he didn't have it, and he didn't have that belief, obviously, and he didn't really care for it. But he was gentlemanly and neutral, kind of, in a way, which I think is kind of hard to find. He was willing to really sit down with people of all stripes that were had interesting paranormal experiences, and do an interview. And he was pretty hands off too. He wouldn't push people or be skeptical. Carrie Cassidy was someone I really like to watch. It's a shame and a disgrace to YouTube. Those disgraceful people at YouTube kicked her off, and her entire body of work got lost, and then she went private platform, but and put all her work behind a paywall. But before then, we got a lot of her interviews, and they were great. But she was not such a kind of a nice, hands-off sort of kind of a mild-mannered person. She's very pointed and pushy, and like she did an interview with Stephen Greer. She really
Has the super soldier fandom fractured yet? I haven't been able to tell, really, because his channel was the meeting place for them, and he's not putting out content anymore. And I'm not in any other, I don't know if they have forums or discords. I'm not in those, so I don't know how they're doing.
Gave him the third degree, to the point where he was like, am I going to be able to do this interview or not? But so that was kind of one of the advantages of James Rink, and yet he was interviewing some of the most gnarly people, most Joseph Powell, for instance, with the reptilian feeding rooms and everything. I mean, just mind-blowing stuff. But he just he just kind of let people talk, and didn't.
Okay, I think we get it. I'm gonna move on. Let's see what's next.
Welcome this evening. Recently, a Patreon shared.
Oh, we can do a bingo check. I have no idea where we are in the bingo, honestly. Satanic. I know we have adrenochrome. What else? Did I do giants already? I think I did, but I'm not sure. Recording in car. Yep. Giants. Steve with a Q with 63 months says 7 sub babies. This sub baby's name will be Steven Galaxy. It's not quite as big as Universe yet. We'll go Steven Galaxy. Anything else? We had thinly veiled anti-Semitism. I don't know if we had overt. Oh, Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much.
Shared this place or this picture.
Oh, we watched
Thank
this
you,
one.
Heidi.
We watched that one. Sorry. Speaking of Michael, or what's his name? Yeah, Michael Sala. Let's check out some of his stuff.
Erica Amarina and Rebecca Rose have both been through some incredible experiences with extraterrestrials and with secret space programs, and that they have
Oh yeah, Q referenced on the bingo card too.
discovered a lot of commonalities in where they served. And
Idiot thinks they're a genius. Formato. Jesus. There we go.
their births and parents and so forth. And I have them here today on Exopolitics Today to discuss the similarities in their various experiences and service on secret space programs and contacts with extraterrestrials.
Yeah, I'm surprised bingo hasn't happened either. Or
You're
two.
listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Sala, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Sala.
So, Erica, hello. Can you hear me? You seem to be frozen.
I think she's frozen.
Okay, Rebecca, why don't you just...
Yes, hello. I am happy to be here with you. Yeah, it's great to be here with you again for another episode, let's say, and joined by Erica. So I'm curious how this will unfold. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And Erica, welcome.
Hi, I think you see me. I think there's a delay.
I can see you.
I'll look up what he's a doctor of.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Okay. Well, I've had you both on the show and interviewed you both a couple of times, or in Rebecca's case, I think 3 or 4 times. And you both have amazing experiences, but yet there's a lot of overlap. I mean, you've found a history, Erica, where you actually may have come across Rebecca during your secret space program service as early as the 1980s.
His PhD is in government international politics. So he does have like a degree in political science.
Or 1989, I think. So yeah, why don't you tell us? I mean, how did you make this connection with this person you met in 1889 and Rebecca?
So last year I wrote my book. Sorry, there's echo. I wrote my book and I was able to go through an entire box that had maybe 60 journals in it. And reading through all my journals, back in the 80s, we didn't have internet. We didn't have to find other people. I carried a lot of my memories, not knowing where they were
Hey,
from.
Frey
I
from the
thought
A.
maybe they were dreams or something. But through my journals, there's always this woman named Rebecca. So this is my journal from 1989. There you can see. So I always remember I spelled her name the way that we did in Russia. Okay, so I'm wondering where does that come from? I end up finding out that I work for the Russian FB, and then I heard recently that Rebecca also worked for
Cassie.
Russia.
She's mewing.
Another thing that I did when I was about 19 years old, I kept having this image of this woman, and she looked exactly like Rebecca. And I thought this was a spirit guide. So I journaled about her, and I would write about her. I would tell people about her. And my boyfriend at the time was an artist, and he would do those spray paintbrush pictures where you spray.
She's incredibly boring.
And he said, okay, describe your guy in 1989.
I'm moving on from this because I find her insufferable for some reason. Let's listen to this kid's 2026 remote viewing predictions. Yay!
Today I'm going to be doing my 2026 remote viewing predictions video. I always love my remote viewing prediction videos. That's really my cup of tea. I love getting into all that stuff. But I want to just touch base upon a few things before I get into the video. I have the whole list of everything that I wrote for today's video. Number one, I'm kind of just like loving for a change doing a video inside my apartment. So it's kind of like a different vibe, but it's more of like a grounding vibe for me. So I don't have like a lot going on around me, and it's more just like concentrated on the information, especially for a video like this. I think it's a perfect change up. And then also, I only have one more video that I'm going to be doing at the end of the month. I'm going to be doing that video when I'm out in Joshua Tree, California. So it's going to be like a nice, I guess, bittersweet ending to 2025. So I'm going to do like one little last message going into 2026 video out there. But this is really the last big video that I have that I'm doing that I'll be releasing in 2025. So that being said, I wanted to, make this announcement that those who are looking into possibly wanting to do one-on-one sessions with me starting just after the new year, definitely, leave a comment so I know who you are, who's exactly wanting a session. Or the best way to probably get a hold of me is through my Instagram DMs, and I can obviously like exchange with my WhatsApp, because that's what I'm going to be like doing a lot of scheduling on. WhatsApp's pretty secure, so that's probably where I'm going to be able to like schedule sessions. And probably how I'm going to do it is do sessions through WhatsApp. Most likely
get
like
into it already. I do not care about your fucking booking
for people, and just like video platforms. I'm not that. Like I said, the best way to get in contact with me, I don't tailor myself to doing one thing. I'm gonna tap in with the individual and be like,
"Oh my god, shut up! Do the thing. What the fuck?"
Co-create the safe space energetically, and we're going to, like, I'm more of like a solution based.
Oh my god, just do the thing the video's about.
This goes. Obviously, like I said, when I remote view, like, there's an infinite number of timelines. Use your discernment. Take all this with a grain of salt.
Oh, so this is all bullshit. Thanks.
Maybe only a couple these things will happen. Maybe everything.
Ashley says, you look good in glasses. How are they working for you? If you don't like them, how would you like contacts? They're fine. They work. They make the writing sharper. I would never do contacts. I can't touch my eye. I can't get anything near my eyeball. It's a non-starter.
Thing will happen, maybe nothing will happen, right? Like I said, like, my intention is to literally just share the most probable timelines and the most probable predictions on what gets flagged out to me. And a lot of the time, like, I do use my discernment. Like, I don't just share everything. There's stuff that I don't even share that sometimes get flagged out to me. Because
The real discernment would be to recognize that remote viewing is bullshit, for the record.
I use my discernment, and I actually have to...
Does the eye-poking scene in Ace Ventura 2 bother me? It does.
Go back, like, I literally have to, like, use my discernment to...
Even thinking about it, it makes me, and I can't picture things.
Go back
but it's
and, like...
still just the idea of the,
literally correct the information I'm getting. Like, especially if I'm releasing videos like this that are, like, actual predictions. Like, I don't, like, just say anything. Like, I have to get energetic confirmation, and that's why... you know, that's how I gain my accuracy, and also, like, you know, try to be as straightforward with this as possible. So like I said, like, take this all with, you know, a grain of salt, and just keep an open mind, enjoy it, you know, like, honestly, these types of videos, I love doing these types of videos because I just, like, I love tapping into timelines, and I'm sure you guys know by now, and especially, like, when I remote viewed even, like, the hurricanes, like, my intention for that was to literally shift out of that timeline. So just starting with some energetic stuff before I get into, like, more, like, bolder predictions. So what got flagged out to me is, like, I literally was able to, like, see almost, like, the collective timeline in 2026, and I saw that it is going to accelerate dramatically throughout 2026. People are going to be getting pushed into alignment more rapidly as outdated systems, patterns, relationships, and identities fall away. This acceleration is driven by the raising frequency of the...
Did you get this out of a fortune cookie? Fuck me. See the
more,
weather.
In-depth predictions that came through via remote viewing. I'm gonna start off with some weather predictions that got flagged out to me. So what got flagged out to me was a massive weather pattern shift around March of 2026. So I'm gonna get into that. So January and February came forward to me as... it's going to be weird. It's going to be like, there's going to be like snow in places that, like, maybe wouldn't see a lot of snow. Like, I'm thinking like southern US, like not like Florida, but like Carolinas, you know, Gulf Coast region. Like, they might get some snow in January or February. That got flagged out to me.
You're going in the wrong direction. Michigan in the middle of December just had rain. You should be going in the other direction. Typically cold places having warmer weather. Ugh.
So snow in areas that wouldn't necessarily see a lot of snow. And then I saw, like, in areas where there's meant to be snow, like in more northern regions, it's weird. Like, it doesn't seem like those areas get a lot of snow. So it seems like...
not as much as we used to. It's because of climate change. Thanks.
Whatever's going on with this current weather pattern, like, it was like this last winter. Remember, like, the Carolinas got more snow than, like, the Northeast last winter? I see a repeat of that, especially in January and February. And it's already happening right now. I know the Mid-Atlantic and Carolinas are getting a snowstorm, or they did, like, a few days ago last week. And like, in the Northeast, they're not getting, like, as much snow as, like, the Mid-Atlantic and the South. So I'm seeing, like, this weather pattern where, and it's going to be weird. It's going to be, like, places further south getting more snow than places in the north. But this is the second year in a row like this. So I saw January, February, very cold.
Oh, Jesse Courteous, thanks for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Cold, very cold, but a weird weather pattern. Like, not anything. And this isn't, I didn't get flagged out that this is HARP. I got flagged out that this is just... this is like the pattern's about to shift, so it's almost like...
all right, I'm sick of the weather predictions. Let's try White hats. What's that?
2026, white hats are moving in. Like, if HARP does not cease and surrender to the white hats, and I got this
weather control on the bingo card,
information directly channeling the White Hat Alliance, they are moving in. So they are going to be moving in and taking over the facility. Like, and also while doing that, they are going to drop significant information. Somehow get it out to maybe mainstream about those operations. So, well, the White Hats, if you guys don't know, they're basically the good people that are liberating a lot of, they work with the GFL a lot, and they're liberating a lot of trafficking rings, and also a lot of these other activities that should not be going on, like HARP and other stuff. So I saw that the White Hats are going to be, like I said, they're actively trying to get control over HARP. It's a back and forth battle behind the scenes right now. So I'm really interested. Still got second half 2026, but also I got that there's going to be a global coming together uprising movement about the just the chemtrails in particular. I didn't get like, okay, they're coming together over an earthquake HARP might do, or some other weird weather event that HARP might do. I got chemtrails in specific. People are waking the F up to these chemtrails.
Chemtrails on the bingo card.
Rapidly right now. And people are pissed. And
people are idiots.
Will be a global movement with this in 2026. I said this back in June, and it's flagged out to me again. There will be a global movement to just spread awareness on these operations. Okay, I probably should have touched base upon this earlier in my video, but actually this probably is more of like a prediction on my end. So I saw that there's going to be like an increase in like psychic activations among like a lot of people in the population. And I saw an increase in third eye activation, like emergencies, which really is when people have their third eye activations, especially if they're not grounded and rooted also within this reality as well, they will go into almost like a psychosis and need to like go to like a mental hospital or something like that. So I saw an increase of like third eye activation emergencies, especially with these solar flares hitting us. And there's going to be bigger, like the biggest ones that I've seen that are, especially in our lifetimes, like are coming in 2026. Not the full event just yet, which I'm going to get into.
Just a Peach says, reminder that HARP is closed. The buildings now belong to Alaska's university.
But third eye activation emergencies, especially when people have their third eyes wide open and like either
with eyes wide open.
Come in and
okay, I've been doing this too long. I'm doing random bits that don't even make sense. They just pop into my head. That's not good.
Havoc on their life, or just that's why it's so important to be grounded, especially within the work that I do. When I, astral travel and basically leave this reality, collect information, come back to this, right? Like a lot happens. And then sometimes like I have like deep.
What's up, baby? Hello? Let me go check on Cass real quick. She's just meowing a lot. Let me double check she's okay. I didn't see her, which is weird because it sounded like she was meowing like right outside.
Encounters within this.
Is it in the video? Am I hearing meowing in the video?
Reality with.
No, it's her. Okay, I thought I was going crazy.
Higher dimensional beings even coming through, or just working with different energies even in this realm. Because like when you're operating at a high frequency, you could bridge the realm sometimes, which is really cool. But that's why, like, if people aren't aware, people are having third eye activations, they don't even know they're going to go into like a, you know, what the Matrix calls a psychosis. So I saw an increase in spiritual psychosis in 2026.
She probably is sad. Lupine was like her best friend. They hung out together all the time. I imagine she's very sad. We've been trying to give her a lot of attention and let her know that we're here, you know?
Which I don't even like calling it that. I just call it ungrounded third eye awakenings. Like, and that's why groundingness is so important, everyone. So I'm just highlighting that. Okay, so I saw in 2026, millions are going to be leaving their 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, they're all getting fired.
As they no longer resonate vibrationally. Like I saw, as the powers that were fall, as the old earth goes down, right? People are like not gonna like want to participate in the system anymore, right? And I saw like there's gonna be like globally like millions of people are gonna be leaving the old system, and that's amazing. You know, people are gonna be wanting to seek meaningful, soul-aligned work, you know, and leaving these survival-based structures. So that's gonna be so important, especially when we come together.
This is frankly an incredibly delusional thing, and I think it's because he's very young to imagine that people are like, oh, I have dreams. I just suddenly realized I have dreams. I'm going to quit my job. Like, that's not something you can do. That's not something the vast majority of people have the capital or freedom to do. Even if they had some sort of, quote, third eye awakening and had some sort of, like, come to Jesus moment about their life and priorities, it doesn't matter. You need to work to live for the vast majority of people, whether that job is, you know, working at the post office or doing streams for a living. Everyone's got to do something. The idea that you're just going to quit your job to go chase your dreams is, like, delusional for the vast majority of people. Lilac Rosenberg says, if Marcel goes to jail, you can react to this guy. He tries to sell AI. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know where do I even save him to?
You're hesitant on quitting that job, bro? Just do it. Burn the boats, go all in.
Oh, this kid's annoying.
Now this is a pattern interrupts. Called this guy up and he hung up.
I gotta be careful of the music.
I threw a 7-figure career.
Why I left my 7-figure job at 18. If you had a 7-figure job, you're just daddy's little boy, aren't you? Aren't you so cute getting jobs from daddy and then quitting them? Oh, you're so entrepreneurial. Oh. Fucking loser. Where were we? The fuck is that guy's video? Where did it go? There it is.
And form these new Earth systems soon, that like we have those people taking the initiative and leaving the old system and like coming to this higher, you know, reality within this reality, I guess, and working, you know, to form a better system. So that's going to be very important as well. So this one is actually very interesting. I saw like a whole downfall among religious institutions. As people within those institutions come to find out, especially in 2026, there might be releases of information. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to unfold. But when people realize that their religious institutions have been hijacked by the shadow government to get their agenda through the word of God, right? They're not going to be happy. And they're going to...
Please, tell us more about this so-called shadow government.
There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, so like, we were brought up to be in these religious institutions and the shadow government has been communicating to us through the word of God. Like, it's going to drive that's going to lead people to like a breaking point of like honestly just like going through an awakening in itself, and then raising in consciousness, coming to know that there's more going on. And then I think a lot of those people will end up ascending in consciousness out of the dogmatic system. So when a lot of people realize, especially in 2026, I saw there's going to be it's going to become very obvious that like these religious institutions are like more like shadow government operations. And it's going to be very like...
Green Guy says, Hannah, my wife hasn't worked since 2019 and I'm about to retire on the 15th, but hey, we both survived cancer. You guys are very lucky. You really are.
People, particularly...
Congrats on the retirement.
Within these institutions are going to feel so betrayed. Like, they're going to be like, I believe... You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be... It's just going to be very interesting. So definitely to keep an eye on, okay, when these religious institutions fall, which this is something that has to happen, especially before a global, widespread, like fifth dimensional frequency way of being exists away from the system. Like, this is particularly like something that's contracted to occur. I just think that it's just going to be very interesting to see, okay, how do people handle like accepting that they've been lied to and that the word of God has been manipulated to like literally suit a shadow government Illuminati agenda, right? Like to get everybody on board to the conspiracy of this reality. So that's going to be very interesting. I also saw that there's going to be a full downfall of the two-party political system in the US and
not without getting rid of first past the post. Again, this belies a complete misunderstanding of how anything works. I think some of this is because of the kid's age. Some of it's maybe just ignorance in general. But, like, you understand that there's historical inertia and there's systems in place that form the society we live in, right? Those systems help shape us as individuals and as groups, just as much as we, in return, shape those systems. The idea that you can just, within a year, destroy a political system that exists because of the first-past-the-post voting system is crazy. Like, you don't even understand why things are the way they are, so you can't picture the scenario in which they change accurately, because you don't know what that change would actually entail at all.
2026. Specifically, I saw that there was going to be a mass, like, protest among people who would have voted for a Democrat or a Republican, like, almost like everyone coming together and, like, protesting the two-party, like, Illuminati political system. Like, the political system is run by the reptilian elites. So I think if enough people realize that even something's off with the political system, which a lot are questioning, especially in 2025. But, you know, as more and more wake up to the fact that they're both sides are literally just working with each other to push a clusterfuck of an agenda, then that's going to be when, like, both sides that's when that unity will emerge, being like, what? Like, they're literally working to push this transhumanist, like, 2030 agenda. And, like, don't forget, like, both sides just do their agendas to, like, reach, you know, members of the population, to, like, take them in, to, like, bring them into the agenda, right? But it's all like one big agenda. Like, it doesn't even matter sides. Like, do I think that every political person has bad intentions? Absolutely not. I'd say there's like 4 that I like that actually wanted to fucking try and do something. And, like, for example, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, she actually tried pushing back against the Illuminati agenda, and look, like, now she's out. And that's so wild that happened, like, after I remote viewed all that, like, 3 days before it all happened, and that was just freaking mind-blowing, that, like, I got all that information, then all that happened, and now they're not, so maybe it's for the best she's leaving, so that, like, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, honestly, I hope that when the new structure forms, like, she'll be included in the New Earth system, because I really think that she's here for, like, the New Earth. So her
This kid
particularly, I think, is actually, like, has good intentions. And I also think RFK has good intentions with, like, wanting to clear people's souls of all these chemicals to, like, help them honestly ascend
their
in
soul of chemicals.
So, like, I admire that. Like, that doesn't mean, like, I love these people. I'm just saying, like, do I think everyone in politics is bad? No. But we're not, like, the New Earth politics has not emerged yet. Like, that's coming maybe, you know, in the next 2028, not the cycle of 2026. Because we need a downfall of...
Gamer G with 32 months says, finally able to catch a stream, hoping to find a new job soon as my current one is doing a toll. Also, I hit 2 years transitioning last month, congrats. Next month is month 33 when the Freemason Cabal will offer me riches beyond my comprehension, or maybe I'll just find a better job. I wish they'd come to me. That would have been nice. They didn't, so I gotta do this.
The old structure, and that has not happened yet. And right now it's still business as usual with the freaking Illuminati, like, reptilian political system. It's so, like, they're not trying to help us. Okay, I just get so pissed talking about it. But, like, I mean, and, like, generally, like, just as a human being, like, I you can't look at that like it's serious. Okay. And then, yeah, so I see, like, a full downfall, like, people on both sides, like, protesting, like, not voting in 2026, being like, you guys are literally all just controlled, and, like, we're not voting for any of you guys. So I really hope people don't vote. I know I'm not participating in any election with older candidates and all that. So once we get the New Earth people around in, like, a newer government-like structure that's not a two-party system, maybe I'll participate, but until then, abso-fucking-lutely not. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not voting too. He is not informed. He is very misinformed.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So I also wanted to share, as the frequency keeps raising, there's going to be... Okay. Take it or leave it, whatever. We're gonna see, like, clones glitching, like, so much easier. Like,
clones on the bingo card?
I don't think the cloning technology is, like, adaptable to the solar flares. So I saw, like, in 2026, there's gonna be multiple events where we're gonna see either, like, a celebrity clone, like, malfunction to the point where it's, like, so blatantly obvious. I know it's happened before, but, like, I'm saying, like, clone malfunctioning, like, that, like, get ready. So clones malfunctioning, like, it's just gonna be, like, yeah, like, so obvious.
Dillis Filler with 200 bits says, okay, Twink, we get it. Your personality was horoscopes, but that didn't get you enough attention on the apps.
Yes, like, with these celebrities.
Yeah, I don't know how no one has bingo yet. It's kind of crazy.
Clones, political clones. Oh, yeah, there's political clones in the government, and I know exactly which ones are clones. I've remote viewed a lot of, like, random political people that, like, I've gotten intuitive hits that they're either reptilian or clones or whatever. There's not all, I'd say solid 5 to 10% of, like, political figures are either reptilian or, like, clones or, like, other non-human beings. But others are just pawns or taking, like, Illuminati orders, right? So, like, we're going to see clones glitching. We're also... So I do not see 2026 being near that a reptilian is going to shapeshift in front of everyone. I'm saying that still to be 27 or 28. So I did not get that happening in 2026, unfortunately, even though that would be amazing, and I'm still manifesting it. So I did not see a reptilian shape-shifting in front of everyone just yet in 2026. We might see the eyes glitch. Like, I see the eyes glitch. I see the, yeah, like, yes, okay.
Can I shape-shift in front of you right now? Yes. Will I? No.
So, that's...
If you're good at something, never do it for free. History Chick, thanks for 57 months and kicking off a hype train. If you want to help out the hype train, you can use bits or subs.
It's just something else I wanted to add. So just have about 5 more predictions left to go. The next one is New Earth systems are going to begin to emerge. So as the old continue.
Okay. I think we can move on. Those are the most interesting topics in his table of contents. So we'll move on from that now. Let me make sure this video is saved in case we don't get to it today. Saved. Okay. Oh, this is a funny little short ad.
The worst thing about not recovering is not just pain or fatigue. It is doubt. It's thinking, if I'm eating well, sleeping and going to therapy, why am I still tired? The answer is usually
we're at almost 6 hours.
Electric. And the funny thing is that the energy failure hits 2 fronts at the same time. It stops your physical repair and clouds your mental clarity. Below, at the cellular level,
I'm actually feeling quite bad. I might add 2 hours to the next Tinfoil and do 2 XL streams instead of a full 8 here, because it's taking its toll.
Problem is voltage. To de-inflammate or close a wound, your cell requires a load of less than 70 millivolts. Without that fuel, it enters survival mode. It defends itself, but stops repairing. It gets tired. But above, in your mind, the problem is frequent. Anxiety or lack of focus are noise. Your brain has lost its synchronicity with the natural rhythm of the Earth. This is where our technology unites both worlds. We use scalar waves. It is not just energy, it is information that orders the complete system. Physically, it returns the load to reactivate tissue regeneration and mobilize inflammation. And mentally, it modulates that field with the Schumann resonance. Your brain recognizes that signal, calms down.
Tea Time Tea says, I suddenly started getting ads saying, why go to Saudi Arabia to get hair transplants when you can do our product? Oh, the targeting is going well, clearly.
And recovers the focus. You go from noise to mental silence while your body works to
this is an ad, yes.
Repair itself. Energy to
it's
heal.
It's a conspiracy
clarity
ad.
To think.
They're selling scam products. Oh, they channeled James Rink. She channeled James Rink. Gamergy with 50 bits says, watching this ad, I'm just picturing the scene from Napoleon Dynamite where Kip buys a crackpot time machine and just electrically shocks him, but thousands of Americans doing it. That's a funny movie. Hydrate, will do.
Hello, Ginger. Merry Christmas. You look
too, but I'm not.
Yeah, time travel as always.
So yeah, he's here. I didn't know who he was either. And
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs.
Tell this.
Thank you so much.
Paula brought this up. But I was just looking. He's just sitting there. He's sitting there next to Eric, and he's just like casual, just like kind of kick back casual a little bit, like just kind of relaxed. He's very relaxed. He seems very relaxed and ready to. He goes in ready to go.
Let's just start by letting you have the open mic, James. Tell us, come to your defense if necessary about the things that you have projected into the internet world. Conspiracy or not.
Let's see what he's saying here.
And then we have questions to ask you.
Yeah, he's just saying that there were a lot of things that came to light for him throughout his life, and which I think a lot of this is going to be answered. He's saying, like today, as we go through the questions, that there are some things that are going to be surprisingly true, of things that he talked about that people didn't believe. And he's saying that there are some things that were a little bit misunderstood. Okay. Even with him, he's talking about even with himself, things he misunderstood, that he would interpret.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we ask the questions?
But he's very happy.
Then afterwards, we'll say, well, what else do you want to add? So
it was cutting out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I've been having problems with my Wi-Fi for some reason. But we'll try.
It's the ghosts. The ghosts are screwing up your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was kind of breaking up. And I'm probably breaking up too.
Do that. I don't know what's going on. I have to reset my internet. All right, James, from your current perspective, can you tell us whether the so-called super space program really existed?
Skifazoa with a bingo! Can I see your card, please?
So he's saying yes.
They mean, I bet they meant super soldier program, because there's secret space program.
Let's take a look at Skifazoa's bingo card. Aliens did it, yes. Satanic, yes. Staggering levels of hypocrisy. Did we have that? What for? Weather control, yes. Incorrectly believed self-evident, and evidence is self-evident. What's the staggering levels of hypocrisy? Does anyone remember? I don't think we had that, but if there was, let me know. Let me take a look at the bingo card real quick. Where is the number for that? Hypocrisy? I don't think we had it. Yeah, I don't think we had that. So not quite. Almost, though. Now we just have to find that goddamn video again. There it is.
But it's super soul.
Chief Motto with the divorce. Oh! You know what? I would agree with that, Skifazoa. You win! Skifazoa, I will write your name down. You are the official bingo winner of this stream. Let me just get the pen to work. Skifazoa. Okay. Giveaway will do. One second. There's the gift sub. Let's see who it randomly goes to. Meekses wins the gift sub. Cool beans.
Soldier program. So let's ask that.
Well, both. He's saying both. They did. Both of them. Yeah, both of them. They're not exactly what. There's so many things that are told about this that are not quite. I don't want to say the word true. He's not using that word. Quite as it seems, or quite as it's described. But there are many things that are true about it, and there are a lot of things that, so you know when somebody has like an idea of something like that, like he's showing me like he would get his memory somehow. I feel like this was like maybe memories would come back.
Thanks for the hype train
that he'd been through. Maybe hypnotism, something like that. And when these things come through, you just like me or any other medium, when they come through, sometimes you describe them with your own filter or how you see.
Okay, this lady sucks. Moving on.
Here's a video talking.
This is a video from 8 years ago, but it's making predictions about 2026. So I wanted to check this out.
About The Simpsons revealing the future of America. A lot of videos already on YouTube that show all kinds of predictions that have already happened, like Prince. Fake death. This was a Simpsons episode that ran back in the year 2000, believe it or not, predicting.
No. First of all, Trump ran in 2000, if you don't know. Trump ran as part of the, what did they call it? Reform Party in the year 2000, but I'm fairly certain that screenshot is not from 2000 based on the animation of The Simpsons over the years. I don't think that's from the year 2000.
Trump, because it was all planned out. This prediction could have just been staged, you know. These three individuals could have just staged this to make it look like this painting. That's not real.
The painting came second. What is he talking about? Is he just like seeing shit from The Simpsons that's recent and he assumes it's old for some reason?
Really significant. This is showing Trump at his funeral or his death. There was an episode a few years ago.
Yeah, this is the closest thing you could call to an actual prediction, and it's a joke.
Depicting the next president.
Because we've become a joke.
Female, and it says, as you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it? Well, we're completely broke. So I assume that the stock market will be next to nothing, or America will be bankrupt. What I do find interesting, the next president should be the last president. And it almost looks like, I mean, it really does look like Hillary Clinton will be the next or last president. But, you know, it's depicting a female president, and I happen to believe that Michelle Obama could be the next president, which would explain Obama going back into office, which would explain how all these hundreds and hundreds of people have had all these disturbing dreams and visions about Obama. I saw Obama in the White House during the destruction of America, you know.
Or people are insane, racist psychos. Jesus Christ.
This is a clip from Simpsons season 23, episode 9, or 923. Very important. A lot of futuristic revelation comes out of this one episode. But it says, Montgomery Burns Institute for Soul Extraction. Interesting, huh? Because the Bible says one of the judgments against Babylon the Great, merchants of gold, silver, brass, iron, let's see, oil, fine wine, wheat, sheep, chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. Now, I still don't understand this full revelation, this understanding. I do find it kind of disturbing. The Bible talks about one of the judgments of Babylon the Great, the souls of men, and back here we can see soul extraction. So I'm not really sure what all that details. This is Simpsons. Here's a 23.9 again. It shows New York underwater. Very disturbing. New York people believe that tidal waves can be seen on these new $100 bills. Others believe it's a nuclear explosion.
Yes, the code-breaking structure of the Mad Magazine fold-in. Brilliant.
Here's more revelation from the 23.9.
Why are these people still talking about Obama? They're racist. Hope that clears it up for you.
Shows the South Pole all dried up. Well, we know that the South Pole is actually
oh, he's a flat earther too.
Or ice wall. So I assume that sometime in the future that this ice wall, some of it's going to melt, which would explain how you see these futuristic maps of the United States where, you know, the west coast is all flooded, the east coast is, you know, a lot of it's under
That's because of climate change predictions.
water. Florida's underwater. All these parts are underwater, probably because the ice wall has gotten warmed up and melted, and they're probably giving you revelation, right? You know,
These people are so goddamn stupid.
Let's go to Google, type in Captain Hook sailed around
Hook.
Antarctica.
Huh.
Antarctica is the ice ring around this flat disk Earth. It's somewhere around 60,000 or 69,000 miles around. Captain Hook sailed it back in 1776. And this is more revelation from the 23.9. The door just happens to have a 2 and 3, a 23. More revelation from the 23.9 episode where this guy's being robbed and he's
Oh, I gotta get rid of that Christmas unboxing message. That's funny. I forgot to stop that after December. Whoops.
And the robbers, like, you know, we're a cashless society. Why, you know, why are you trying to rob me? So they're giving more hints and clues about the future. back in November 1st of 2012, there was this little skit, this little short skit. It wasn't a full episode, where it shows Mr. Burns endorsing Romney. This is very important because this little skit reveals some very disturbing revelation. Basically, it shows actually apparently where America, the fault line that's going to split America.
What?
The big earthquake.
What are you talking about?
This short skit ran Thursday, November 1st, 2012. And what's amazing is you can pretty much line
That's
up
not even where the hole was.
split or
It was
fault line
mostly over Texas.
the rupture is going to happen at. The way it's depicted, it looks like the split or rupture is going to happen literally in the middle of Louisiana. Something else that's interesting, just come over here, find Ken Peters. I saw the
I can
tribulation.
try to turn him up more. It's already maximized on the YouTube volume slider, but I can make it louder.
And you can practically calculate when this destruction is going to happen. If you listen to this guy's testimony, it's like 2 to 3 years after this so-called rapture event happened is when he sees this worldwide earthquake and millions of people die. And he says, I've never heard of an earthquake where millions of people die. Well, we know from other testimonies that people see this big, what I call a fake asteroid, and then they will detonate
What do these people do when their predictions are wrong? They move the goalposts.
bunch of
Mostly.
bombs at the bottom of the ocean, shake the entire earth, cause a huge 200-foot tidal wave to literally devour lower half of the United States. Most of Florida will be wiped out. America will be split in half. In 1 day, 1 hour, America will be reduced to a third world nation. You know, no more grocery stores.
Sorry, I missed a tip. Green guy with a $3 tip from a bit ago said, Hannah, during your stream, me and the wife took a nap, and then I gardened out front and pulled up carrots and strawberries, then replanted them elsewhere, and I used the garden's dirt mixer on the rest of the bed. Then I took a shower. Yeah, you've been productive. What have I been doing for the last 6 hours? Nothing good.
No more gas stations. There's probably not going to be a lot of purified water, you know. If you listen to Ken Peters' testimony over and over again, you'll soon realize, hey, wait a minute. He says that he was taken out and he saw the globe shaking. Well, you have to understand God can put a border around the flat disk Earth and make it look like a globe. Why would God do that? To deceive the power elite that monitor some of these visions and dreams. You know what I'm saying?
What?
In other words, listen to his
They're
testimony.
monitoring your dreams.
You'll see where he talks about, I saw these small white boxes in people's homes, many homes, and I know them now to be personal computers. Well, this is obsolete technology, for one. But here's the catch. In third world nations, in poorer nations, they still have these monitors. They are using these monitors. So he may have seen into homes in third world countries. God may have put a border around the earth to make it look like a globe, so that when the power elite or the FBI or CIA, when they monitor these visions and dreams, they laugh because they think it's their God, you know, the all-seeing eye, that gave this vision or dream to this person, and they just ignore it and walk away. But to the Christian, we can read between the lines and get the message out of this vision or dream. In other words, God is very tricky and clever. Back to The Simpsons,
Thanks,
season
Phoenix.
23, episode 9. You're showing, I guess, biometrics or mark of the beast technology, you know, humans and electronics merging together, you know. Very disturbing. And it also shows what apparently is the new New York. The old New York has probably been destroyed, but they're wherever this is going to be at, the new New York, gate 23.
It's probably a Futurama reference. On top of just being a joke. Like, the idea of, like, a new New York is a joke that has been done multiple times. I've seen it in multiple things.
It talks about how Michigan is still under Sharia law.
Not a fan of that joke.
which if you go back and listen to Ken Peters' testimony, he makes it sound as though the Bible has been banned. Okay, before
Tea Time teases I'm listening while doing stuff, so you are facilitating productivity, I guess.
people are getting a chip in their hand, people are hiding Bibles. It's almost like it has been outlawed in America. Yes, most people, they can't fathom the thought that gun confiscation could happen in America or Bibles banned in America. Well, most people, they're not going to fight to the death against this criminal government. They're just not going to. They'll just, they can talk all big and bad now, but if your kids are on the line, in other words, you're not going to fight to the death if you've got a couple kids that you've got to figure out how to feed. So, all these gun owners now that act all big and bad, man. Yeah, right. When it comes down to it, when their back's against the wall, they'll give up their guns and just cowardly go along with the criminal New World Order government. So, more on that episode. Cannibalism, the new gold. There's been quite a few visions and dreams over the last few decades where they see where cannibalism is going to happen in America. It's really
Why?
gonna happen. Basically, crops aren't going to grow right. Like one day it's cold, the next day it's hot, the next day it's cold, the next day it's hot.
Okay, I call this the Logan's Run, or not the Logan's Run, sorry. This is the Soylent Green problem. The thing is, in order to create humans that have meat on their bones to eat, the humans need to eat. Because that's how conservation of mass and energy works, right? A human being doesn't just pop out a full-grown human being. In order to create a human being with meat that you could eat, you would need to feed them for decades and decades and decades, right? And then they'd be an adult, at which point I guess you could eat them if you wanted to. But it wouldn't make sense. You can't just all eat each other as a permanent solution to any problem because you're going to get diminishing returns, right? You can't literally create people to eat because if you did that, you'd already have food and you wouldn't need to eat people.
And crops are going to die. They can't grow them unless it's indoors, which probably explains why, one day's wage will buy a loaf of bread. Probably because that loaf of bread, the wheat that was grown to produce that bread was grown indoors, so anyway, cannibalism is going to happen. I do encourage you, if you have a couple $100,000 in your 401k, go ahead and take some of that money out, buy 2 or 3 acres of land out in the middle of nowhere, go rent a backhoe and start digging 12-foot deep pits and start storing up thousands of cans of good down into your pit, cover it all up, put dirt over it, figure out how to store up water. Okay, you're going to be the wealthiest person in the entire world. Okay, this person over here that has a bunch of gold and silver, he's going to commit suicide while he's starving to death. You have pits that you dug out with thousands of cans of food and water stored up. You're going to be the richest person in the entire world. So figure it out. Figure out how to store up on. You're going to need about 12 to 14 years worth of food stored up, because
it's not practical to keep a decade's worth of food around. That is not practical for virtually anyone.
You've been taught that the rapture happens.
Just the space alone.
And then 7 years later, it's the end of the tribulation, and then Jesus comes back, and then everything's going to be okay. Well, the only problem with that is it's nowhere in the Bible does it say that from the rapture to the end of the tribulation is 7 years. But what I do know this, Jacob's trouble that parallels the end time nightmare just happens to be 7 years, then a great deception, and then another 7 years. So it looks to me like it's 14 years. So you might want to store up on 14 years worth of food and water for your family if you're going to try to survive. So I wish you the best of luck, and God bless.
Okay. I think I do have to call it, and I'm going to add 2 hours to the next Tinfoil Tuesday. So today we got through 6 hours. Tuesday we'll get through 5 hours. That equals out to, the amount of time. I apologize sincerely. I will stop committing to things that I am clearly not capable of anymore at this age. I don't know. I used to be able to do this really easily. Not so much anymore. And, makes me feel really bad, honestly. I'm bad at this. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow for a Sovereign Citizen stream. We'll check out Chief Mato's arrest and more. And, I just hope you all have a good night. I'm sorry I'm calling it a little early, okay? See you then. Bye, everyone.